In June 1942, a German submarine came up near Long Island, and four men stepped onto the American beach in the quiet, dark night. And they carried fake papers, lots of cash, and dangerous things like small bombs hidden in their bags. But one man was already thinking about a choice that would break open the whole Nazi spy plan in America, and what he later told the FBI changed everything. And what happened after that even surprised some of the most powerful people in the United States government. And now, the landing. On June 13, 1942, along the Long Island coast in New York, it was after midnight when the German submarine rose close to the shore, and the four men climbed out and walked onto American ground. And under their normal clothes, they wore German uniforms, and their pockets were filled with almost $175,000 in American money. And they also carried things far more deadly, like timers and detonators made for blowing things up. And their mission was to destroy American factories, bridges, and train tracks. And the leader was named George Dash, and he had lived in America before, so he spoke perfect English, and he knew the streets and the way people acted. But when his feet touched the sand, something inside him shifted, and he looked at his team and thought about the terrible things they were supposed to do. And right then, he made a choice that would shock both Germany and America. But first, they buried their uniforms and slipped away into the night, because the mission plan was simple. And these men were not normal soldiers. They were saboteurs, trained for months in a secret school outside Berlin. Their targets were picked carefully: aluminum plants, train stations, water supplies, and hydroelectric dams. If they succeeded, America's war effort could fall apart from the inside. The men split into two teams. Dash and his partner, Ernst Bergerer, went to New York City. The other two went south toward Florida. They were told to blend in, act normal, and wait for orders. But something went wrong right away. A young Coast Guard officer patrolled the beach that night. His name was John Cullen. He saw shadows near the dunes. He walked closer. Then he heard voices, German voices. Dash turned and saw him. For a moment, nobody moved. What happened next would decide everything. The encounter. John Cullen froze. Four strange men stood in front of him in the fog. One stepped forward. It was Dash. "We're fishermen," Dash said fast. "Our boat ran aground." Cullen wasn't sure. He asked for ID. Dash reached into his coat but pulled out cash, not a weapon. Hundreds of dollars were in his hand. "You didn't see us," Dash said quietly. "Take this. Forget you were here." Cullen's heart pounded. He took the money. He nodded. Then he turned and walked away. But as soon as he was out of sight, he ran. He ran back to his station and told everything. Meanwhile, Dash and his team buried their uniforms and explosives in the sand. They changed into American clothes. Then they walked to the nearest train station. By morning, they were in New York City. And then Dash did something no one expected: the confession. Dash checked into a hotel in Manhattan. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the phone. His hands shook. He picked up the receiver. He called the FBI office in New York. "I need to speak to J. Edgar Hoover. I'm a German spy and I want to turn myself in." The agent on the other end thought it was a joke. Dash hung up. He tried again. This time he called Washington, D.C. Same thing. Nobody believed him. So Dash made a choice. He took a train to Washington. He walked straight into FBI headquarters. He carried a briefcase full of $84,000 in cash, proof of his mission. He told them everything: the submarine, the landing, the explosives, the names of his teammates. He even told them where the second team in Florida was. The FBI was shocked, but one question stayed: why did he do it? The arrest. Within 48 hours, the FBI started the biggest manhunt in American history. They didn't tell the public. They didn't tell the press. They moved quietly. One by one, they found the other spies. Ernst Bergerer was caught in New York City. He had also planned to give himself up. The Florida team was found hiding in a hotel in Chicago. All of them were caught without a single shot fired. America had just stopped the biggest sabotage attack on U.S. soil, and the Nazis did not know. But in Germany, Hitler waited for news. He expected explosions, chaos, fear. But there was only silence. The FBI kept the story secret for weeks. They wanted to make sure there were no other hidden spies. When the news finally came, Americans were shocked. Enemy spies had walked freely on their beaches, and one man's honesty had saved the country. The trial. The 8 German spies went on trial in July 1942. But this was not a normal trial. It was held secretly in a military court. President Franklin Roosevelt himself ordered it. He did not want the details public, not yet. The trial lasted only 3 weeks. All 8 men were found guilty of spying. The punishment was death by electric chair. Even Bergerer. Dash couldn't believe it. He had turned himself in. He had told the FBI everything. He thought he would be treated like a hero. Instead, he was sentenced to die with the men he betrayed. He sat in his cell waiting for execution. But then, something unexpected happened. President Roosevelt looked at the case personally. He made a decision that would change Dash's fate forever, and what happened next shocked the whole country. The execution. August 8, 1942. 6 of the 8 spies were taken into the execution room. They were strapped into electric chairs one by one. Within hours, all 6 were dead. It was the biggest mass execution for spying in American history. But 2 men were spared, George Dash and Ernst Bergerer. Roosevelt changed their sentences to prison time. Dash got 30 years. Berger got life. The American people were angry. They wanted all the spies dead, no exceptions. But Roosevelt knew the truth. Without Dash's confession, the sabotage mission might have worked. Factories could have exploded, bridges could have fallen. Thousands of American lives could have been lost. So Roosevelt made a quiet deal. Dash and Berger would live, but they would never be free in America. Their story would be hidden, forgotten. And for many years, that was the aftermath. Dash served 6 years in prison. In 1948, President Truman let him go, but with a condition. He was sent back to Germany. He could never come back to America. Dash spent the rest of his life trying to clear his name. He wrote letters, he gave interviews, he published a book. He said he was a hero, not a traitor. But nobody cared. In Germany, he was hated as a traitor to the Nazis. In America, he was forgotten as just another spy. He died in 1992, alone and bitter. But history remembers the truth. George's decision on that beach in 1942 stopped one of the most dangerous Nazi operations on American soil. He saved lives, he stopped chaos, and he paid the price for it. Sometimes the line between hero and traitor is thinner than we think. Operation Pastorius is one of the shocking moments in World War II spying in America. German undercover agents on U.S. soil. Nazi spies in the U.S. with explosives and cash. Saboteurs on American shores during World War II stopped by one man's conscience. The German spies landing in America could have changed history. Instead, their mission became a warning. If you found this story incredible, hit subscribe for more untold war secrets. History is full of hidden truths.